Okay, so 2023 has been a blockbuster year for gaming in general. We got to see a lot of cool things this year. I believe the remastered version of Persona 4 Golden was one of them. People have had nothing but good things to say about the game on multiple versions, like even like the Nintendo Switch in terms of graphics, in terms of it being high quality and it being every bit as good as the original Vita version of the game that came out back in 2012. And the thing is, Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden are both really old to a point where it seems like Persona 5 has overshadowed it from 2016 onwards. Because you look at Persona 5, the Persona 5 series managed to sell over 9 million copies worldwide between 2016 and now. And that's more than 4 ever did. And don't get me wrong, like the story and the plot for Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden, it was pretty cool, but some people feel like the plot for Persona 5 was dark, but it was more realistic. Persona 4 was dark, but it was more like fantasy, sci-fi based. And I do feel that Persona 4 Golden, even though it's cool that it got remastered and re-released in 2023, there's a lot of people who feel like Atlas should have just remade that game altogether, maybe using the same type of like visuals that they use for Persona 5, because the Persona 5 visuals look more comic book like, and it's something that I feel added to the appeal of the overall, Persona 5 game that came out back in 2016. Now, I'm not the only person who feels this way about, Persona 4, Persona 4 Golden. I've saw videos online where people are arguing for the case of a potential Persona 4 remake or Persona 4 Golden remake. And I'm not sure if it's something that Atlas is necessarily interested in, but it's probably something they should consider working on, or they should probably consider in general, considering the fact that it doesn't seem like Persona 6 is going to be coming out anytime soon. And I remember I made videos in the past saying, is Persona 6 going to come out this year or what have you? Or maybe I wrote about it saying, is Persona 6 going to come out this year or that year? Is it too soon for Persona 6 and all that stuff? And the thing is, we haven't heard anything about Persona 6. And the thing is, like, if Atlas is going to create a Persona 6 game in the future, they need to do everything in their power to make sure it's something that it delivers in a way where it's something that we've never seen before from any of the previous installments. It's basically like Persona 5, but there's like something a bit extra that'll add to its appeal. And I don't think, Atlas has necessarily found out what that is. And, trying to come up with stories that top the previous installments, plots and all that stuff, I'm pretty sure it's pretty tough, especially considering the fact that the series is more in the limelight and in the spotlight nowadays than it was back in the 2000s, because you look at Persona 3, that was the game that kind of put the series, in the spotlight, and I do feel like after that it seemed um like each main game was better than the one that came before it, because a lot of people don't even know about Persona 1 and Persona 2, because a lot of people don't even know that the Persona series got started back in the 90s on the PS1, but it got, overshadowed because, there were so many games on the PS1 that sold millions, that people had greater preference for. So like this next Persona game, Persona 6, I'm pretty sure that like just the hype alone is going to be one of the reasons why um it sells well, in retail and all that stuff, but it doesn't seem like it's coming anytime soon. So um should Atlas continue milking the Persona 4 series out for more than what they can? I have no idea. Trying to milk out the Persona 4 series kind of sounds like a good idea, but the thing is, Persona 5 is way more successful, and I'm shocked that we haven't gotten a Persona 5 Arena game because I believe that was something that I had pitched in a previous video or something I had wrote about because they did a Persona 4 Arena game, which I believe came out back in 2012. Not why not do Persona 5 Arena? But I don't think Persona 4 Arena did too great in sales, or maybe it fell below their desired sales expectations, which is probably why they decided not to move forward with that. But but yeah, like I don't think Atlas is going to give Persona 4 Golden a full fledged remake and make it similar to Persona 5 in the sense where it's more modernized and the graphics you know they resemble more of a comic book than just like 3D models and stuff like that because like the 3D models in Persona 4 Golden, the remastered version, even though they look cool, they still look a bit outdated because when it comes down to like 3D video games nowadays, especially anything that's somewhat anime related, cell shaded graphics is basically the way to go. And it'd be cool if we got Persona 4 Golden with character models utilizing like cell shaded graphics and all that stuff. But I don't think that's something that's going to happen. I think for the most part, Atlas has moved past, Persona 4 and Persona 4 Golden and Arena and all that other stuff. I think they're just trying to move forward. And I believe that Persona 4 Golden Remaster um, got the treatment that it got was because of high demand. There was a lot of people who want to play that on current generation game systems. There's probably a lot of people who didn't play Persona 4 Golden back in the early teens when it came out on the PlayStation Vita because for the most part, nobody really bought the PlayStation Vita because it was a commercial failure, for the most part, because more people were buying the Nintendo 3DS. So does Persona 4 Golden deserve a true remake? Absolutely. Um, do I see it happening anytime in the near future? Probably not.